Hey, Hearties! This is the second and final episode for this season. Who knows what'll happen in season 11? I mean, maybe I'll just make a quick trip up to Washington. I mean, it could happen.
So, yes. We mean the final edition with us in the same room.
That's what we mean.
That's what she's referring to. Anyway, to start off our celebration of the 100th episode, I think we just need to give a little recap to people about why this is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Little background, if you didn't know, Cammie and I met through a Hearties group online, Washington State,
Texas.
We have been best friends. We recounted. We're sorry if we got it wrong the last time. We recounted about 6.5 years now.
Give or take.
That we have been talking, getting to know each other, writing together.
Exchanging holiday and birthday presents.
Correct. Not necessarily on the right date, but that's okay. It's hard to get to the post office and actually mail something.
And then we got to call the postables because your letters become dead packages.
They never get lost when I mail them. I have to mail them. I have to get there.
Right.
They've never gotten lost after I've mailed them. So it's all me. It's all me. But she does get them eventually. She gets them eventually. Anyway, first time in person. We're now together in Texas.
We're not faking it this time.
Here,
see, we can actually. Right. There we go. So we're nuts.
It's been a little bit crazy. So, Hearties Hotline.
And we got to watch the 100th episode together, which we didn't even time. No, we didn't plan it.
We knew we'd get to watch something.
Yeah.
We knew the series would be airing at the time of the visit.
Yeah. So
really lucked out.
The really cool thing is 2 years ago, if you were watching at that time, it was Casey and me, and we went, Casey, Jess, and I met in Florida at Casey's house, and we did not plan it this way, but we got to watch the Flo-Yo wedding together, and that was really cool. We had a really fun time, the three of us. Well, Casey and I were doing the screaming, and Jess just sat there laughing at us. But so now Sarah and I got to watch the 100th episode together, and we did not plan it. I just thought, okay, season 10, episode 2, nothing major. Too bad it wasn't the week before, and it could have been the premiere. You know, that would have been cool, or the finale. But then I went, wait a minute.
This is even better. And there was still a lot of screaming and laughing.
Oh, there was a lot of going on. It's so different watching with friends.
It really is.
And not just friends, but friends that are
also
into the show. Yes, who know the history, who know the happenings. And it was just fun. There was a group of 7 of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a group of 7 of us. And you guys know that I always record and then watch on Mondays. I didn't do that this time. I broke away from my mold, and I watched on Sunday night so that the 7 of us could watch it together and watch the 100th episode live.
Almost live. We did
almost
in keeping with what would have happened in Hope Valley. We decided to just not have internet for part of the evening.
The internet went out in keeping with Hope Valley.
Yeah, it was very accurate. It was very historically accurate. And so we were desperately trying for moments to get back online and get current. And we ended up getting current, fast forwarding through commercials and getting and ending just just about on time.
Yeah, I think we
5 minutes, maybe, 3 or 5.
Yeah, we were 3 to 5 minutes. So
close. So some of our tweets might have sounded a little like, man, they're a little behind. But, we tried.
Yeah,
we tried.
Totally tried.
And we were taking turns tweeting this time. Usually it's me.
Yes.
So it was kind of fun.
So this one is going to have to be a quick one, sadly, because got to get this one to the airport.
I have to go home.
Dang.
Which is exciting on other levels, but sad on just
we're leaving.
So some quick
the
thoughts
episode
about the episode. What do we think, Hearties? We hope you guys will tweet us what was your favorite part as well.
So I do think that it was interesting that Aunt Agatha was sent to go and get Elizabeth to come back. I mean, I can see where it is because, you know, she encouraged Elizabeth to follow her heart and not let anyone tell her what to do in season 2, Sarah's favorite.
I like it more than other people like it.
Yeah, but that's not hard.
I do like other seasons better than season 2. I just don't dislike season 2 as much as the average Heartie.
But
as much as you.
As much as I do. But one thing I will say that I can see is Elizabeth was involved with Jack, and Aunt Agatha, no matter what Elizabeth told her, could see that was happening. And so, but he was on a very different level.
He was on a very clear path.
Yes. That
Agatha, at least, would have extremely immediately recognized was not going to change.
But Lucas is a businessman.
And so it is valid
that
for
they
someone
would think.
To wonder.
Mm-hmm. Because Agatha said to Elizabeth that Lucas is meant for a bigger stage. Now, I don't think that's what Lucas wants, especially from what he said at the end, but I can see why that would be something that she would think, that this isn't the Mountie. This is a city man. Yeah. This is a businessman. And I think that he can go where he can thrive.
And I don't think it was necessarily that that's where he needs to go, but it was said more in a way of if there was ever, because I think she said if there was ever a man.
Yes.
Destined for a larger stage. And I think in my mind, that was very much stating like, of anyone you could be with that might want to move to Hamilton.
This would be the one.
This would be him. We might as well ask. And with my season 2 hat on, with my season 2 lens,
here we go.
Trying to play devil's advocate of Elizabeth's family. Mm-hmm. They really have always wanted what's best for her, but they've also really thought they knew what was best for her.
Okay. Thank you. She redeemed herself.
So that's why it was always resolved in the end. They started out just like, we know this is the best thing for you. They never did it just solely for them. I think they did it partially because they love her and want her to be close to them. But it was very clear that they thought it would be best for her to be in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And
okay. That's fair.
Realized how good Hope Valley was for her, and how good Jack was for her, that was when they were able to accept that.
And by the same token, Agatha totally got the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got the picture at the end.
I see them just having maybe a relapse of that, of like, oh, well, look, Elizabeth has now chosen a city guy. She now wants that life. Maybe she has changed her mind. Maybe now she wants to come back and be home with us, you know, and maybe this is now an opportunity for what we originally did think she wanted. Maybe she has changed. She's a mother now. Grown, you know, has new goals, has new ideas for what she wants in her life. And so I don't blame them for trying. I don't necessarily like how they tried. Not really. Just ask.
I know. Just call her up on the telephone.
Phone in her house now.
No. He took it out.
No.
Oh wait, no, they never took it out.
They didn't take it out. She changed her mind.
So
she has a phone in her house. They can call anytime. Call her. And that doesn't mean not to visit, but it just seems very much like that visit wasn't intentional. Like it was disguised as wedding planning. But it wasn't wedding planning. Like that wasn't the main intention.
Let's go there for a second. The wedding planning.
That might have been my favorite scene.
So
it honestly might have been when they were looking at the dresses.
Eye action going on with Elizabeth and Rose. You know, that kind of reminds me of something we would do.
It does.
Like, If we were in a situation, charming, happily ever after.
I'm speaking slowly so you can correct me if I'm not following what you want me to say.
I think if we were in a situation where we were in the same room and we were talking with somebody, I feel that you and I know each other well enough that we would be able to do that same kind of thing. And that just made me laugh.
It was really fun. And
what
the look on Elizabeth's face when she saw the drawing of the dress that she and Rosemary had been discussing.
Yeah.
It just
instant serenity.
Like, I don't even remember, like, I feel almost like it was the way she looked at her original wedding dress that got burned up.
Oh.
Like, it's a totally different dress, but I mean, like, that she didn't get her dream dress.
She didn't get her
dream
first
dress wedding. It was, so I think that just makes me want her to get it even more. Like,
she didn't get a dream dress the first time.
Some brides in a second wedding would probably be like, I don't really care, whatever you guys want. I already got to pick something.
She might even just wear a simple dress.
Yeah, but I could see her this time being like, I really, really, this is important to me to have a certain look, a certain feel to it, because really a lot of things about the first wedding were thrown together because of the fire.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of plans changed big time because of that fire, and so it wasn't an elopement, but a lot of it felt like an elopement. So
that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So but yeah, so that's a really good point right there, that maybe this means even more to her because her first wedding, it got saved.
Slightly derailed, though.
It got saved, but it got derailed first. Yeah. All right. And then our second visitor, Julie's back.
I'm very curious what's going on with her. She's
she's
in London now.
Go all over the place.
So we knew Viola was in London.
Yeah, but now Julie's
Sir Lionel, and they had at least one.
At least one.
I think they said two at one
probably
point.
At this point.
She had a second one.
Yeah, at this point she probably did.
I think they said that in season 9 at one point, but I'm not positive.
I can't remember.
And now Julie's gone there as well for art school.
Yeah,
which great.
Who knew?
Great, but yeah, didn't know that. Surprising. So great that she could come.
Yeah, Julie flounces all over the place. I mean, she's
such a good word for her.
Yeah. I mean, we have the first Julie, the season 1 Julie. Yikes,
She needed to grow up. And all season 2 Julie.
I was going to say season 2 Julie. Season 2 Julie was even worse. Well, no, because season 2 Julie didn't go after an outlaw. So that
probably takes the cake.
Yeah, that's true. So season 1 Julie, yikes. Season 2 Julie, yeah, no, not really.
Still crashing cars.
Yeah, crashing cars and saying, we have love to keep us afloat, even if daddy does cut me off with my trust fund. Yeah, right.
Or going after someone that he doesn't like.
Yeah. And so then we had season 5 Julie, who I think had grown up. She had grown up. And we got to see her twice. We got to see her at the wedding, and then we got to see her in the interim. And I mean, I thought she grew leaps and bounds by helping Elizabeth teach. And so that was really good. And then we saw her in season 6 at the christening of Jack Jr. And now we haven't seen her for a while. And she's, I don't know.
I think
she's kind of all over the place.
I think what we discussed is she seems to be having sort of, I don't want to say a midlife crisis. She's not really that old, but
no,
she's having
a
crisis
a pre-midlife,
like a crisis of identity.
Okay.
Because she was going in one direction and thought that was her direction, and now she's being told kind of that she should go in another direction, and that's hard because you don't want to waste time.
Father thinks she should be a lawyer.
I really don't see that, but
that sounds frightening to me.
I mean, sorry,
Julie Thatcher, attorney at law.
Definitely nothing against Charlotte, but nothing against the character of Julie.
No, not Charlotte.
I definitely think Julie's smart and could do some other things. I'm just not seeing that as
I'm not
being
seeing
a
law
role.
Yeah, she's no Samantha Madison. Yeah,
I was thinking about her the other day.
Oh, there you go.
So I just think, but I also think it's really good to stop and evaluate what direction you're going in life, and like what, especially if somebody suggests something and is like, this, you'd be really good at this. Like, pause, think about it. Like, imagine if that's something you want to pursue. So,
but I'm guessing she and Tom are over.
It was no more mentions of Tom.
None. Kind of sad.
A little sad. I did want just a mention.
That would have been nice, but
I still hope Uncle Tom comes and visits someday.
Oh,
that'd be fun.
We haven't had anybody from Jack's side of the family. I mean, all two of
visit
them.
on screen. And it doesn't again mean that they haven't visited off screen.
Yeah, so, but there's all two of them.
Mention of that would be cool to be like, oh, last summer
you just missed Tom.
Last summer when Tom was here. Or, any of those kinds of things.
Yeah,
that's the gift that Jack got from his Uncle Tom.
That would have been
something at some point. That'd be fun.
So speaking of gifts, Bill has given himself a gift. What punk? Bill's being a total punk.
He looks good in stripes though, which is hilarious. Did they wear stripes back then in jail? I don't.
I mean, that's
back then they did, but I don't know in Canada if they did.
That's the stereotype. But I honestly don't know. But oh my gosh,
that would be more ironic with him being a lawman.
Yeah, that would.
But he then is wearing this.
He's wearing
bathing suit. Like, okay.
I died laughing when Molly said, "I can see his wash line." And that bathing suit is up there all day, every day.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me. So we did kind of, I don't want to say make fun of, but it was quite humorous.
We giggled.
Like, okay, so we've just now discovered that steam is good for lungs. Okay. Because they knew this before 1920.
Well, because they even talked about, remember Faith talked about getting him a nebulizer.
Exactly.
So
okay. But it was adorable to see. I actually really loved Jack's acting throughout this because he was like looking really bad.
He was looking bad
in episode 1 and amazingly jovial, and
you can really tell the difference. It's not just the script telling us.
He really played into it and was very believable in just how,
and his voice,
how like he just felt like renewed.
His voice was getting all gravelly and it was down here all the time. And then like, morning ladies, just like, robust.
Exactly. So,
but that is so funny. And I don't know, they probably did, but the shot with the no swimming sign and him spinning around when he hears the ladies' voices. And so you see his face half hidden by the rocks with the no swimming sign. It's just like, It was a great shot. That was probably my favorite shot of the episode. My favorite scene is probably the eye-catching scene. Yes, but my favorite shot of the episode was the way that they did that, was showing the no swimming sign and him obviously in the hot springs.
And obviously with Jack being an accomplished singer, having Bill sing, which I don't have. We've heard him sing in a group. I don't think we've heard him sing solo.
I'm trying to remember.
I feel like we've seen him like maybe in church or something.
Maybe. But
singing or a Christmas Carol.
And I forgot that he was a singer, which I should have known, but I forgot that.
Yeah.
And I mean, duh, we
I
have
just made it really
how many movies with him playing a musician? Yeah. Whoopsie. But yeah, that was really funny to just have him be that guy, in the striped suit, swimming and singing to himself because he's feeling so much better.
Yeah.
And then he's caught. I mean, I don't think that it was very fair of him. Let's be real. To keep all of that for himself, that's not nice.
It isn't nice, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt that
it was an embarrassment thing.
Well, it was an embarrassment thing, but it's also a health thing. It's also his livelihood. Like, I think he thought he was dying.
Probably.
And this has, in effect, saved his life, potentially. Given him a second chance.
So why doesn't he let other people have that second chance?
Well, and I think hopefully he'll come around to that.
Well, I don't think he has a choice anymore.
He does see it that way at some point.
Okay, yeah.
But I can absolutely see that initial, like, if more people come and I can't do it as often, will I go back to the
Will I go back? Okay. I give you
a fear.
I give you half for that. There are plenty.
All right, you get half of a credit for fearing that you're gonna die.
No, you get half the credit for saying it.
Okay.
Because that was
it's
just
a valid point.
That was just not nice for him to just say, "Oh no, the waters aren't safe." Ah, la di da di da.
Well, maybe it's like quality control. He's got to test it and make sure before he allows other people.
The other shot that I really loved was the three women on the blanket sipping, and we're not stopping you.
Go right ahead. Oh goodness.
Which, this is going to sound silly, but in our day and age, when modesty is not an issue anymore, I mean, some people
but it's
still
not across the board.
It's not across the board the way it used to be. And I mean, let's be real, Hope Valley is a fictional town. And yes, while it kind of follows a timeline, it's not historically accurate. And so for them to put that aspect back in, to have Bill be embarrassed to be seen in a swimsuit, that he's not trying to show off his body, I was like, okay, that's cute.
Well, and he didn't even want Ned to see it.
Yeah, he didn't want Ned to see the swimsuit. Yeah.
Which Ned had to have known what it was, because he had to have ordered it himself.
Yes.
That this isn't a time where you go online and order your bathing suit. No one knows what you've ordered. Ned would have had to have been very involved in that ordering process.
But he didn't want him to see it nonetheless. So yeah, that's a good, that's a really funny point.
I thought that was funny. Oh goodness. Okay, so speaking of the ladies watching Bill.
Yes.
There's a lot going on with at least one of these ladies. A lot that we don't know.
So Sarah and I discussed this. We are not sure by any means. We have no clue. So this is
not behind the scenes info.
No,
we are not. Yeah, we have
disclosure.
We have no inside information whatsoever.
None.
If anybody wants to contact us, give us some inside information.
We will take it.
We're open to that. And in fact, even if we are not allowed to share it on the podcast, we'll just keep it between us. We're fine with that. Yeah, there's quite a few options of what could be happening.
Yeah. So one option that we thought of is that it was an almost kiss.
I think that's what we're mostly thinking.
I think that's the one that we went the most with. Yeah.
I like our hypothesis.
Yes.
That it could have been involved in a treatment situation. So Faith has already told Molly that it is immoral for her. It is against the code of ethics for doctors to be romantically involved with a patient.
Which means
yeah, she lives in a small town. She's the only medical professional. that would mean she cannot ever have a relationship as long as she is the only medical professional in this small town, which seems a little bit, I mean, it can't be how things were done back then, because everywhere was small towns. There were lots of small towns with only one doctor.
Right.
And the person can't possibly not ever have a relationship.
Right. Well, and
every small town.
And the other thing is that, once again, you can't go online.
You can't go meet somebody from Buxton
to go on a long distance dating relationship.
She's pretty leery of long distance relationships at this point in time, given everything that happened with Peter and then Carson.
Yep.
So
that's what
theory,
we think.
Yes. One theory that we have is that Faith was treating Nathan for probably his shoulder that seems to still be bothering him. And something happened and they almost kissed and were probably interrupted by Molly or something. And that would explain why she says nothing happened, because she has to make it sound like this was totally professional and she did not cross any boundaries. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have this
so funny.
I have this mental picture of Faith examining Nathan's shoulder. Oh, okay.
Oh, it sounds like a knee. It sounds like a knee.
It's the other knee.
It's the other knee. Maybe she was sure. Very, very intently. Maybe that's what happened. Oh, we can start a hashtag wrong shoulder.
Another one?
None of my hashtags seem to be catching on.
No,
so I just need to keep trying.
Need to keep trying.
Eventually I'll hit one.
But see, we had talked about maybe there was a kiss, but
it's possible.
But I don't think that.
I don't think she could deny that. I don't think she could be saying nothing happened.
Yeah, there was nothing to end. You can't say that if
there was an actual kiss.
Yeah, you can't say that in 1919, 1920 without some kind of tie. You know, in decent society, in civilized society, you can't say a kiss happened and nothing happened. You can't say that in civilized society. So that's why we think it was an almost kiss. But which we would love to know.
We would still say, Faith, that's still something.
We would say that.
We'd be like, no, you're wrong. We're with Nathan on this one. There's something you need to talk about.
Can you imagine? She's touching the shoulder. Like, Faith, it's the wrong shoulder. And then she goes, oh, sorry. She goes over
to the other side, and then their eyes lock.
I mean, those are pretty blue eyes. Those are really blue and really pretty eyes on that man. And he looks so good with his haircut. I love it when Kevin cuts his hair.
It's a nice look on him.
I love it. When he first came on in season 6, I was like, dang. Because I just love the clean cut look.
She loves
I do. I'm sorry. I like the clean shaven. I like the clean cut. I don't like the I don't like the messy head look. I just don't. And so, I mean, he wasn't unattractive with the longer, messy, slicked back hair.
We're getting a little too.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
Anyway,
moving on. Should we go to the other man of Hope Valley?
Sure.
Yeah, the one who, of course, he wouldn't be nervous.
Never.
No, he's never. That was cute.
Huge flashbacks to when my husband met my family. And we were not engaged at this point. It was very early in our dating, but
how early?
He met my entire family at 3 weeks at a family reunion.
Frightening.
I'm sure it was for him. It was hugely meaningful to me because it showed that he was very invested in our relationship going forward.
But wrong relationship.
But the way he was, just the nervous, it was so believable. Chris did such a good job.
He did.
Of trying to be calm and very
on top of things,
do everything right, say everything right,
mm-hmm.
wear the right tie. Oh, So sweet.
Couldn't decide on a tie. That's a little endearing.
Rosemary's reaction, like, it's, what did she say?
A very nice tie.
It's a very nice tie. And then she's like, I got to get out of here. I don't want to be part of this.
Which we thought was a shame.
It would have been nice to have her as a buffer, but she did have, at least she was a buffer later.
Yeah.
With just when Elizabeth was alone. But,
yeah.
But she gave Lucas some space. And that was fun. There is, however, one kind of sad aspect happening in town.
One very,
yeah,
it was kind of a shock. I mean, not shock. It wasn't a shock
because of how things have been going.
It wasn't a shock, Henry. But I really thought that Bill had gotten to him. I thought that he would have.
I wonder how you can resolve Henry Gowan's storyline this season.
I don't know.
Without him being convicted of something and being sentenced to some major prison sentence.
Yeah.
Unless he does sort of change his direction of how he's feeling about himself. And they're definitely portraying it that he's possibly depressed, very much that he's taken on the weight of what he's done. But he also, in the last episode of season 9, had like said a weight kind of had been lifted.
Yeah.
He's praying now and coming to terms with what he's done and asking for forgiveness.
But I think that might be part of it.
It is part of it.
He's coming to terms with it, so he's not denying his involvement.
But you would almost have to deny your involvement to plead not guilty.
Oh, you would, completely.
And so it does make sense that he pled guilty.
It was just,
but I also don't know how this can get resolved and how it can go forward. And
maybe Jerome Smith has a heart attack. I don't know.
We haven't had anyone bit by a snake for several seasons.
It is one calls the Hearts.
Okay. Anyway, Gowan, we're still Team Gowan. We love you. Definitely Team Martin. I'm amazed with everything he's done with this role.
Oh yeah.
And also, I just want to throw out there, he keeps looking at the picture of Christopher. And that's where we keep coming back to. And I hope we see Christopher again.
With Rachel, his new wife.
Really nice. Yeah.
One thing I do want to say about Gowan is the fact that he pled guilty and he is coming to terms with his involvement and he is not denying his involvement or condoning. Mm-hmm. That is a huge change from even as recent as season 6. Mm-hmm. Exactly. When he was trying to deny the embezzling, or he was trying to justify the embezzlement, and how because he was a sharecropper's son, he deserved to have money now, that kind of thing. He's not doing that. Mm-hmm. And for him to have such a huge transformation and to be redeemed so much that he is now not justifying anything. He's just saying, I did it.
Definitely. Quick question. If anybody knows why Lee was in the room when they were trying to figure out the plea situation.
And Nathan wasn't.
He's
the law enforcement. Lee he could be a character that we said he could be a character
witness. He could have been there on behalf of the city council. I don't know if
he is on the city council, but
he might have moved into like the lead council person. But it just, he didn't like have any big important
he didn't have
lines,
business,
and they didn't say why he was there. And I'm like, I'm fine with
why is the sawmill
there.
Owner there and not the constable?
It was a little, if somebody has an insight into that I'm missing, please let us know.
Yeah,
it might come out in the next episode, but I was just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Especially, I mean, if Lee had been there and Nathan had been there,
would have made more sense.
It would have made a little bit more sense. But yeah,
anyway, so that was our big wondering.
That's our wonder. Yeah.
And then finally,
the whole
springs, Hope Springs.
Eternal. Which I think was a fabulous idea. It's
a really great idea for the season, a way to build up the community and bring more money into the town and more people into the town.
Just the 100th episode.
And just a lovely way for the 100th episode. And I liked how they tied in the Springs and what they were doing with it with Elizabeth's family and the reasoning why Elizabeth and Lucas love the town and want to be in the town and want to raise their family there.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, when he put his arm around her and gave that little speech about that being where he wanted to be, and them together.
Yeah. He said really that I don't want to go and we want to stay here.
Yeah. So it was both singular, like, you're not going to talk me into it to change. Like, he knew that they knew she didn't want to go. And so to address it that way by identifying it as himself as a single individual person, and then also as a couple, this is what we agree on for our future. Mm-hmm. That was sweet.
Yeah.
And fitting for the 100th episode.
It was a celebration of what made Hope Valley special. It was a celebration of why they want to stay. Mm-hmm. And my husband, when he saw the preview for the 100th episode, and he saw that they were offering Lucas a job, I'm like, well, if they wanted to get rid of Elizabeth, this would be a good way to do it. I said, are you nuts?
You just tried to stir up drama and make you all flustered.
Of course. Yeah. But that's how I was like, honey, that ain't happening. Nice try, but no. It's Aaron Krakow is an executive producer. This show has become a lot of her life, that she's not going anywhere.
You hear that, Aaron? You're not going anywhere.
Nowhere. And they're already filming season 11. So obviously they're not going anywhere. Yeah. So
it's still happening.
Yeah. So, and poor husbands, they just don't get it.
They just like to meet husband.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up the last time for this season that Sarah and I will be in the same room. But it has been...
Don't expect to get rid of us that easily.
Oh, no.
We'll still be around.
Yeah. It'll just be on separate screens. But this has been such a blast having you here. It's been great. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in your life at this time. And we wish you the best. And we'll see you next time for episode 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.